Here we have some colorful crochet Easter eggs. Each one has been made using the same pattern, they just look different in different colors. For making this video, I now have a new ring light, which I hope and trust that will give a clearer picture. There's a link in the video notes in case you are also making videos and need one. You need 3 colors of yarn. I'm using mercerized cotton. There's a link to that yarn in the video notes. And my crochet hook is size 3mm. And then you also need some type of stuffing to fill the eggs. This is what one looks like close by. We start here and crochet round towards the other end, and by the time we get to here we fill it with stuffing and then finish it off. And these crisscross designs are overlay crochet. So let's get started. First we need a magic ring. I make mine just very simply round my index finger, and then making a stitch into it. And we need 12 double crochets, and that's double crochets using American crochet terms. I'll first chain 2 on top of the starting stitch and then 12 double crochets into that ring. I normally just take my finger out of the ring, it's easier that way. So you make 12 double crochets. Continue until you have 12. You also count the 3 chain stitches at the start. So now I have 12, including the chain. And then you pull the cord so that it tightens it. And then close that round using a slip stitch. There. Then you need another color. And what we are going to do next is these loops. Here I have my other color, and make a stitch into the stitch you have there, and then 2 single crochets to the front loop in the next stitch. So just the front loop closest to you, and 2 single crochets into that. And then we chain 14. 10, that's 14 now. And then skip the next stitch, and again you use the front loop only, and you make 2 single crochets there too. So 2 single crochets into that loop. And that's what we repeat. So again 14, chain 14 again. 5, 6. And again you skip the next stitch and 2 single crochets into the one after. So do this until the end of the row. I'm now coming to the end of the row, and you need 6 of these loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the 6th one. And the last one, just finish it off with a slip stitch into the start of the row. And then make a stitch and cut that yarn that you were using. and finish it off. So that's what we have at the moment. And now take the yarn you started with and make a stitch into the back loop of where we were using the front loop. Just sort of pull the yarn through and chain 3. That will count as the first double crochet. And then we continue around this. So we just forget about these loops at the moment. We'll attach them a few rounds later there. And now 2 double crochets into that stitch in between where the loops are. And now you take both loops. You take the full stitch. So 2 double crochets. And then we keep going. 1 double crochet into the stitch behind where we had the loop. So there's the back loop there again. So into that back loop, just 1 double crochet. And this is how we continue. 2 double crochets into the stitch in between the loops, using both loops of the stitch. And so on right round. So always 1 stitch into the back loop on where the big chain is, and then 2 double crochets into the next one. Like this right round. At this stage on this row you have 18 double crochets when you count the chain at the start. Then take another yarn again, your third color, and we are starting the row already using that, so we get the neater chains of the yarn. So you don't attach them before you take the new yarn. So insert the hook at the start of the row, take a yarn over using the new color, and then pull through to make a stitch. You might want to tighten it. And now on this row we will be making single crochets and increasing some. Chain 1 and then a single crochet into the next stitch and the one after, and then to increase 2 single crochets into the third stitch on that row. And this is what you repeat until the end of the row, that 1 single crochet into 2 stitches and 2 into the third one. So 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets until the end of the round. Now I'm at the end of that row and I need to have 24 single crochets, so 24 stitches on that row. And then we'll have an easy row because there's no changes. Take back the color you started with and use that to finish off this latest row round by making a slip stitch and chain 1 and then a single crochet into each stitch. So nothing else, just a single crochet into each stitch until the end of the round. Here's 24 and the row done. And on the next row we are going to attach these here loops that we made. First of all, change color again. I'm taking this hair color and again slip stitch using that color. And then take the chain loop that's directly below to where you are now and twist it round like this. and insert your hook into that there loop. Insert the hook into the next stitch there, and where's my yarn? Here. Get your yarn and make a single crochet right round both the stitch and your loop, so that's what attaches it, like this here. And you need 3 stitches to attach each of these, so stay inside that there loop and insert your hook under it as well as into the stitch, and again a single crochet, so that your loop stays in it. And one more. Now I'm inside that, and I'm taking that there stitch and finishing off a single crochet. So here you see now it's attached and it goes crisscross in the middle there. Then we'll just have one ordinary single crochet before we start with the next loop, so a single crochet into the next stitch, and then take the next loop and twist it. It looks nicer if you twist them all the same direction, and hook into that there loop and take the next stitch and a single crochet, and the same to the next stitch and a third one there. So now we have 2 loops attached, and then a stitch to the next one, and then you continue like this. So like this until the end of the round. That's it. So all of them are attached. And what I'm actually going to do now is to fasten off all these yarn ends, because there's that many now that it annoys working on. So I'll do that next. The next row then is the middle row of this egg, and we'll need 2 colors on that same row to make clusters and 3 double crochets in between. I'm going to use this here turquoise color that I have these loops on for the clusters in between here, and then the same color as for the start to make the double crochets in between the clusters. The last row still hasn't been finished with a slip stitch, so I'm doing that now using the new color. And then I'm chaining 3 for the first double crochet. And it depends now where exactly you are, if you need another double crochet here or not. We'll have 3 double crochets in between each cluster, but I'm now here so that I need the cluster now because that's the middle stitch. So for that I'm taking the other color again, and I'm just holding it here and starting the double crochet from the top, and you need to make 5 double crochets into the 1 stitch, and we are leaving the last stitch always on the hook until we have 5. So this is the second one, and all into the 1 stitch. 3, 4 and 5, tightening that a bit there. And then when you have 5, take a yarn over and pull that through all of these stitches. Also this, what I have in pink here. Then put that behind there and take the other color again. And really you need to tighten every time so that there are no stretchy stitches there. And using that first color, make 3 double crochets, 1 into each of the next 3 stitches. So 3, and then again take the other, like I have this turquoise, and 5 double crochets using that color, and again leaving the last stitch on the hook, 5 of them. And here's 5, and then pull the yarn through, and then again first tighten, and then the 3 stitches in between, 3 double crochets, 2 and 3, and so on right round. So you'll always have that cluster above this crisscross. So that's that round, and at the end you also need to have 3 double crochets when you count those chains, and then finish it off now using the same color. I'm pulling this out a bit so it doesn't unravel, and then I continue the crochet using this same yarn that I had for the clusters, and I just need to skip a bit using that because now we're making these longer chains again. So I'm taking this yarn here but making sure it doesn't pull it tight, and making single crochets into those stitches that are in between the clusters. So I made a stitch and a chain stitch there, and then a single crochet into each of these, and remember only to use the front loops because we need the back loops to the next row. And then you chain 14, 13, 14, and skip to the other side of the cluster, and single crochet into 2 stitches, and continue like this. I'm showing some of the end of the row. This is just the 5th of the 6 chains, but I'm coming to the end of here, so you know where the start of the row is, and we have this loop so that we didn't need to cut the yarn, so I'll need to go into where that is, in there, and then I need one more chain of 14, and that attaches to where we started there. And actually now I can cut this here yarn, I'm not going to use it anymore. So there are all the 6 loops. I finished off the blue yarn ends because they were on the way, and now I took back the stretched stitch there, and now what you need to do is two rounds just single crochets into every stitch. I'm using the colors now in the opposite order than here, so my next round is that brighter pink, stronger pink, so I'm taking that. And now every time when we have these attached, then we just need to take the back loop, but otherwise I'm taking both loops. So there's my first stitch, and the next one, and then you need to go to take the back loops of these, so 2 there, and then 2 in between there, and again 2 of those back loops, and 2, and so on, and you'll have 24 stitches on this round by simply taking every stitch there. That's it, 24 stitches, and then I'm changing to the other color and slip stitch using that color, and the next round, well, first chain 1 and then simply 1 single crochet into every stitch, nothing else. Right round. That's that round, and one more just like it. I'm just swapping the colors again. So in all of these you need the 24 stitches, or you should have 24, and one more, just 1 single crochet into every stitch. That's that round finished, and again I'm changing color and finishing off the round with a slip stitch. And now on the next round we need to decrease a bit. First chain 3 and a double crochet into the next stitch, and then decrease by making 2 double crochets that go together. So make a double crochet but leave it as it is here, and another one, and now pull the yarn through all of the loops. So that decreased 1, and then 2 double crochets without decreasing, and then again you decrease the next 2. So right round, 2 double crochets, there's a knot in my wall, okay. So 2 double crochets normally, and then 2 that you put together, and then again 2 normal and 2 together. So at the end of the round you have 18 stitches left. This is that round. I finished off with a slip stitch, and then we will attach these loops, again twisting them round. It depends a bit where exactly you have those loops. So like I now need to go forward 1, so that when I twist them, that I get directly above them to attach them. So I'll actually make an extra slip stitch and then twist it, one, and then again inside that, and attaching it, and a third one. And now at this end there's not going to be any stitches in between, so you just continue straight on. You take the next loop, twist it, hook inside it and into the next stitch, a single crochet and a second one and a third one. So like this here, right round. So that's that one done. And now there's only one row, but before that you need to put the stuffing into it. So I'm stretching it a bit so it won't escape, and putting the filling into it. There. And then just one more round to finish it off. And on this round you need to decrease. Oh, I still had the slip stitch missing. And chain 3. And what we are going to do on this row is to always crochet 3 double crochets together. So that counts as 1, and then 2, leave it like that, and a third one. And now through all of them. And then so that it stays together nicely, make sure you make them very tight so there's no stretch in between them. So 1, 2, 3, and again through all of them, and tightly the next one, 2 and 3, and so on. So that's it. And when you're finishing this round, make sure you make the slip stitch to the start of it, like that. And now there's a tiny hole left at the end. When you fasten off the yarn, put a couple of stitches there so it closes it completely. And here we are. There's that one and the other ones. Just use your imagination for all different lovely colors in them.